My name is Professor Kentaro Iwata. I am a specialist of infectious diseases at Kobe University Hospital, Kobe, Japan. Today, I entered into the cruise ship Diamond Princess, which is bombarded by a lot of COVID-19 infection right now. And I was removed from the ship on the same day. And I'm going to talk to you why this happened. I looked into the several places inside the ship, and turned out that the cruise ship was completely inadequate in terms of the infection control. There was no distinction between the green zone, which is free of infection, and the red zone, which is potentially contaminated by virus. So the people could come and go wearing a PPE, off PPE. Crews were just walking around, and the officers of Ministry of Health and Labor was walking around. DMAT people were walking around. Psychiatrists were walking around. And the people were eating on one place. People were wearing PPE and off PPE and eating lunch with the gloves on, and just dealing with the smartphone with full PPE. So it was completely chaotic. And some crews had a fever. They went to the medical center while wearing an N95 mask, but he didn't have any protection between his room and the medical room, and the medical officer was not protecting herself, and she was very unhappy, saying that well, she was already infected, I'm sure about that. So she was completely giving up protecting herself. Anyways, I dealt with a lot of infections more than 20 years, and I was in Africa dealing with the Ebola outbreak. I was in another countries dealing with the cholera outbreak. I was in China in 2003 to deal with SARS, and I saw many febrile patients there. I never had fear of getting infection myself for Ebola, SARS, cholera, because I know how to protect myself and how to protect others, and how the infection control should be. And so I could do the adequate infection control, protect myself, and protect others. But inside Princess Diamond, I was so scared. I was so scared of getting COVID-19 because there was no way to tell where the virus is. No green zone, no red zone. Everywhere could have virus, and everybody was not careful about it. There was no single professional infection control person inside the ship, and there was nobody in charge of infection prevention as a professional. The bureaucrats were in charge of everything, and I spoke with the head officer of the Ministry of Health and Labor, and he was very unhappy with my suggestion of protecting DMAT people and other staffs so that no other secondary transmission to occur. I think I was reasonable, and I never yell at anybody, and I never criticize anybody personally, but I was trying to be constructive, but they tried to seek the constructive but immediate improvement to protect everybody inside the ship. Then, about 5 o'clock, the person from the quarantine office came in and approached, said, well, you have to be out because you will not be allowed to inside the ship, because I was inside the ship as the temporary officer of the quarantine, but apparently my rank was removed by somebody, and nobody said who, but I was out. And the officer who offered me the job of infection control said he was sorry. Then I asked him, so what do you want to do? Do you want to infect everybody in the ship? It will be thousands of people who could potentially get COVID-19. I don't criticize DMAT people. They were not infection control specialists. You might know that there's no CDC in Japan, but I thought there must be some specialists called on and was in charge of infection control in the ship. I was not expecting nobody was professional infection control specialist, and only the bureaucrats were doing the jobs, completely layman's work, and violating all the infection control principles, and risking people inside further infections. I hope this will be the opportunity to raise the questions what is happening inside the ship. I wish all the international bodies to request Japan to change. I wish everybody to call for protection of people inside the Diamond Princess. Otherwise, there will be far more infections for passengers, for crews, for DMAT members, for psychiatrists, for officers of the Ministry of Health and Labor. DMAT members consist of nurses and doctors, and they will go back to their hospitals they work routinely, and they might infect their patients further to spread and the disease. I can't bear with it. I think we have to change. We have to do something about this cruise, and we have to help people inside the ship, their safety and their life.